I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
Okay, so let's say that you've noticed that you had experienced something in your child's first 2 years of life which could have set up a disruption in bonding experience between you and your child, and you're noticing now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years later, that you're having some behavior issues. You feel not quite connected, not quite able to manage or handle this particular child. So what do you do? Well, a couple of the things that I learned that I found really valuable to me were training my child to make eye contact with me, and also a few physical protocols that seemed to be really, really helpful. So the eye contact thing is really interesting. Now, I am not a sugar person. I didn't feed my kids candy, and I tried to feed them really healthy things. But in this particular situation, I made an exception. And what you do is you get a little handful of something like M&Ms or some kind of goodies, some kind of sweets, and you hold the child. And I did this with my daughter Michelle. She was probably like 8 at the time when I learned this, and she's the one again that I mentioned yesterday that I had bonding issues with her, and she would not make eye contact with me. So what you do is you hold the child in your arms in a playful way, not forceful, just playing with them, and you want to look at them and talk to them, and the moment they make an eye contact connection with you, you pop a little candy in their mouth. And it was so cute because I would do this with Michelle, and she'd be wandering, and I'd be chit-chatting, and she just would glance over at me really quickly, and I'd pop a candy in her mouth. And you don't want to say stuff, like you don't want to say, if you look at me, I'll put a candy in your mouth. You want to make this natural, so it's unconsciously she's getting it. And so you're just playing. She glances over, pop, little candy goes in her mouth. Pop, little candy goes in her mouth.
Look, Bumble knows you're exhausted by dating. All the, must not take yourself too seriously, and 6'1" since that matters, and what do I even say other than, hey? Well, that's why they're introducing an all-new Bumble, with exciting features to make compatibility easier, starting the chat better, and dating safer. They've changed, so you don't have to. Download the new Bumble now.
And so she's getting retrained. Instead of having what was unconsciously, if I make eye contact, it's a bad thing. This person can't save me, can't help me, and so I'm not going to look at her. So what instead occurs is, every time I look at this person, I get nurtured. And again, I'm not saying that candy is nurturing, but in this situation, it's a really quick and easy way that retrains them and gets them to start being able to make eye contact with you. And it was really fun. We had a lot of fun with that when I did it. And I don't believe I did it too long. I probably did it 2 or 3 times. That was it. And because what we're dealing with here, this is not what I call the full-blown attachment disorder. Attachment disorder is actually a big problem out there with foster kids that were adopted in situations that weren't handled well. Anytime kids experienced extreme stress, children of drug-addicted mothers, things like that, that's actually full-blown attachment disorder, and you need a lot more help. What I'm talking about here, again, is just those of us in normal situations having some experiences that set us up to have situations where we're not bonding well. And that's why I call it bonding disruption rather than an attachment disorder, because it's just a little jig in the system. It's not something that's anybody's going to diagnose out there. Nobody's going to say I'm a bad mom. Nobody's going to say there's something wrong with that kid. It's just, I noticed that things could be better, and so I wanted to do something with it. And then the other thing that they taught me was to do this arm stroke. And I actually did this more with my son. Not that I thought there was a lot of bonding issues there, but he just seemed to really respond well to it. He loved when I did this. And what you do is you place your hand firmly on your child's shoulder, and you stroke down their arm until you get to the wrist, and then you just give it a little squeeze. And then you bring your hand back up to their shoulder, and you stroke down their arm, and when you get to their wrist, give a little squeeze. And the protocol for this, when you have an attachment disordered kids, is to do this 30 times every day. And this is causing the brain, the neuronal connections in your child's brain to reconnect in a calming fashion. So I hope this helps, and I hope you have a little more understanding of how important this first couple of years are, and that that you can always do something to create a better relationship with your child, to be more connected. Have a great day. Happy parenting.
Thank you so much for joining me here at the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. I assume you're here because you're getting something out of these daily pep talks. And wouldn't it be great if more parents could hear more about these ideas for their children? And you can help me in a great way by liking the episodes, by sharing them on your social media, and especially by providing a review on your platform of choice. So if you could do me a huge favor and do that, it would really help get this out to many, many, many more parents. And we can all help our children feel more seen, heard, and understood, which is my life's work, is to make sure that all children feel loved and appreciated and that we can discipline them without breaking their spirit. So I hope that you've enjoyed these podcasts and will continue to enjoy them. And I really appreciate any support you can give me here at Positive Parenting Pep Talks. Thank you so much. Have a great day and happy parenting.